Probiotics are highly experimental and individualized. Results will vary greatly from one person to another. They are not universally good for everyone, and there is a risk of harm. Current probiotics are very limited. There is no probiotic that is generally the best, but there are some lists showing which specific probiotics have been shown to be helpful for certain conditions. This includes antibiotic-associated diarrhea. Some probiotics have been shown to be helpful when taking antibiotics, and others have been shown to hinder recovery. No probiotic or fermented food will restore the host native microbes killed off by antibiotics. Even a fecal microbiota transplant may not be enough. So the best option is to avoid unnecessary antibiotics. It's important to learn the difference between genus, species, and strain. Strains have host-specific effects, so you can't expect to get the same results of an animal study. Many probiotics are sourced from food and chosen for their ease of mass production and categorization as generally recognized as safe. Human-sourced probiotics are the most likely to perform native functions and colonize the gut. Fermented foods are generally quite oversold and can have detrimental effects. They are also not interchangeable with probiotics, except for probiotics sourced from fermented foods. Fermented foods contain non-host native microbes, and thus will not replace host native microbes killed off by antibiotics. Having a higher CFU count or more strains doesn't make a probiotic better than others. Keep in mind that these are companies trying to market their product. You do not need to take prebiotics with probiotics. There may be certain prebiotics that specifically feed your probiotic. This is called a symbiotic. You can take probiotics before or with a meal. Most probiotics do not colonize the gut, but they can still have long-term impacts, both beneficial or detrimental, via a variety of mechanisms. Be extremely skeptical of suggestions that detrimental impacts are actually a good thing because they represent die-off or herx. This is probably one of the most widespread and dangerous pieces of misinformation that convinces people to continue doing things that are only harming them. If you have information to share or questions to ask, feel free to join us on the Microbiome forum. YouTube comments may be locked or restricted because YouTube randomly removes comments, which makes it impossible to have normal discussions on YouTube now. Our forum and wiki are focused on quality, science, and evidence-based information. Most large social media sites are flooded with misinformation and disinformation, so you have to look for specific sources that are well-informed, evidence-based, and trustworthy.